First, I think there is a role for the federal government to play in jump-starting an economy that has hemorrhaged so many jobs. I know that because when I became the Speaker of the House, we had lost 70,000 jobs and $1 billion in state revenue. That's why I put together an economic recovery plan and built the broadest coalition in Colorado's history to pass it, a feat that earned me the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Economic Development Council of Colorado that is responsible in part for helping cities and counties bring good jobs here. So I think that's appropriate. I also think it is immoral for us to pile debt on our kids for the things that we're not willing to pay for. And it seems to me one of the reasons that debt has grown now to $14 trillion, the last time the Senate lifted the ceiling, is because we're spending twice as much as our competitors in the industrialized world on health care. There's a reason Japan and Germany and Switzerland and France and Australia and so many other countries have figured out a way to cover all of their citizens at half the cost with outcomes that are as good or better. And that's because they've pursued a universal coverage plan that we ought to learn from as well. One other role I think is appropriate for the federal government, and it has been derelict in that duty, is to hold Wall Street accountable. The Senate has had time after time, chance after chance in the last 18 months to stop the abusive practices and has turned a deaf ear, I think, to Americans who are hurting, who are losing their homes and their pensions. There was a chance, for example, last spring for the Senate Banking Committee to give relief to homeowners who are struggling to avoid foreclosure, a particularly important proposal in Colorado, which has one of the highest foreclosure rates in the country. But the Senate Banking Committee shot down that proposal. Most of its members are subsidized by the banking industry. That's a problem, I think. And the best way, I think, for us to move forward is to make sure that some of these financial institutions pay a consequence. If they're too big to fail, in my view, they should be too big to exist. And we ought to restore the wall of separation, like Glass-Steagall, between commercial banking and traditional commercial banking and investment banking activities.